Right now, your brain is lying to you. It is a biological survival mechanism, not a truth-seeking device. Your eyes do not see reality. They see a low-resolution hallucination that your brain has agreed to call the truth. But isn't a camera recording the world? It's a projector casting your story onto a screen of your own making. Every second, your senses are bombarded with billions of raw data. Your conscious mind can only process about 40. To bridge that massive gap, your brain fills in the blanks. It constructs a world based on what it expects. It uses the ink of past trauma, static of current stress, and rigid constraints of your biological baseline. This is why your habits never stick. You are trying to drive a car with a windshield painted with images from 10 years ago. If you feel stuck, it is a hardware error. Your thalamus has gated your reality to keep you safe and predictable. It has locked you into a narrow corridor of perception. It prioritizes survival over sovereignty, the loop over the exit. The passenger mind accepts the projection, believes the movie is the only reality available. It stays in the loop. The architect mind questions the projector. Before you can change your life, you must understand the machine that generates it. You don't need a new philosophy. You need a hardware override. You need to access the control room of the human experience. Welcome to the Shadow Mind. This is a channel for people who are curious about how the mind actually works. Beneath habits, beneath labels, beneath personality narratives, we explore the underlying systems that shape perception, behavior, identity, and change. Using modern neuroscience, emerging technology, and real scientific breakthroughs, this isn't self-help. It isn't motivation. And it isn't designed to make you comfortable. It's designed to make you accurate. If you're looking for quick reassurance or surface-level answers, this probably isn't the right place. But if you want to understand the mind from the ground up and apply that understanding to real improvement, you're exactly where you need to be. Subscribe, and let's begin the exploration. Welcome to the Thalamus Protocol. This is where we stop fixing the thoughts and start editing the code of the gatekeeper. Phase 1 is always stabilization. Cannot regate the thalamus while the vagus nerve is signaling a state of threat. We must kill the survival alarm. We must signal to the brainstem that the environment is secure, even when the world says otherwise. Only once the hardware is stabilized can we manually override the sensory filters. This is where the architect begins the work. We are going to move beyond mindset and into clinical engineering. We are going to turn the projector around. The thalamus is the master switchboard. It is the only gateway between the raw chaos of the world and your conscious mind. If your vagal tone is low, your thalamus defaults to survival gating. It is biologically tuned to find reasons to be afraid. It prioritizes threat over opportunity. You aren't pessimistic. Your gatekeeper is simply filtering out every signal that doesn't look like a lion. This is why you can't think your way out of a rut. You are shouting commands at a switchboard that has already cut the power. Supporting the thalamus is the reticular activating system, your brain's personal search engine. It only looks for what you have programmed it to find. If your internal code is set to victim or passenger, the RAS will find evidence of your limitations in every single room you enter. It filters out the leverage. It ignores the exits. It leaves you staring at the walls, wondering why luck never finds you. This is the self-help legacy error. Reading about abundance while your RAS is gated for scarcity is a waste of biological resources. You cannot install high-performance software on a nervous system that is biologically gated for survival. The system will reject the update. When the gate is closed, you fall back into the default mode network. The loop of self-referential thought, the echo chamber of the ego, this is where your past lives. It is the internal projector playing the same movie on repeat because it's safe and predictable. To the default mode network, growth is a threat. Sovereignty is a risk. It would rather keep you in a comfortable cage than let you into the unknown. Your body feels this as resistance, that heavy feeling when you try to change. That is your biology fighting the hardware update. In the hierarchy of human change, we do not start with the thoughts, start with the vagus nerve. We start with the hardware. High vagal tone is the clearance code. It tells the thalamus that the environment is secure. It allows the gate to swing open. Suddenly, the reticular activating system is no longer scanning for lions. It begins scanning for leverage, begins to see the code behind the social game. Sovereign individuals aren't smarter than you. They simply have a hardware configuration that allows them to perceive more of reality. They see the paths to power that are invisible to the survival-gated mind. They are looking at the same room, but they are not seeing the same world. Perception is an engineering choice, and once you have the schematic, you are no longer a passenger. You are the architect. We are now entering the implementation phase. We are going to manually override the survival gate. This is where we move beyond theory and into the clinical application of the Sovereign Protocol. Step 1, the vagal reset. Step 2, thalamus regating. Step 3, identity overwrite. We are editing the code at the root. Status is not a social construct. It is a biological frequency. In the wild, the alpha isn't the most aggressive or the most regulated. A high vagal tone signals to everyone in the room that your nervous system is not under threat. This is the invisible sovereign signal. When you are regulated, the thalamus remains open. While others are reacting to microaggressions, you are calculating leverage. This is biosovereignty. You are no longer reflecting the energy of the room. You are projecting the frequency of the architect. Once the hardware is stabilized, we can finally begin the edit. We move from survival into strategic expansion. Step 1 of the protocol is the physiological anchor. We use specific breathing and posture resets to trick the brainstem into safety. This bypasses the conscious mind. You cannot argue with the brainstem. If the hardware says it's safe, the thalamus must open the gate. Step 2 is thalamic regating. We manually direct the RAS to look for high signal data. Tell the brain exactly what to find. Stop looking for problems and start looking for variables. Every obstacle is just a data point waiting for an engineering solution. Step 3 is the identity overwrite. This is where most people fail because they start here, but once the gate is open, the update takes instantly. This is the edit the code moment. This is when the hallucination changes. Begin to speak differently. You move differently, because your thalamus is finally allowing you to see the sovereign version of yourself. The sovereign logic schematic is the map of this territory. It is the technical breakdown of every hardware override we've discussed. It is the result of years of deconstructing human behavior and clinical neuroscience into a single, actionable protocol. We don't give you advice. We give you the schematic. We give you the keys to the control room of your own perception. You can continue to scream at the projection and wonder why the movie never changes. Or you can turn the projector around. You can accept that biology dictates psychology and start engineering the hardware. The world is waiting for the architects. The passengers are plenty, but the sovereigns are rare. Which one are you? The link to the schematic is in the description. This is your briefing. This is your edit the code moment. Stop being a victim of your own neurobiology. Become the architect of your own reality. The gate is open, the schematic is ready. The rest is an engineering challenge. Welcome to the architecture. Transmission ends. See you in the control room. Access the schematic at the link below. This is why we study the shadow, not as something mystical or symbolic, but as the set of underlying systems that quietly govern perception, behavior, and identity. Because identity isn't a truth, it's a structure. Structures can be analyzed, modified, and under the right conditions, intentionally rebuilt. If you want to go deeper into how attention, identity, and personality are shaped at the circuit level and how those mechanisms can be applied deliberately, there's a link in the description to the neuro-architect protocol. This channel exists to make the mechanisms visible. The protocol exists to make them usable. If this episode changed the way you think about your own mind, support the work, engage with the video, explore the materials, and stay with us. This is the shadow mind. And once you understand the architecture, you stop being a passenger